quick, I want to give my second take on the Zoe Williams, Corey Holcomb altercation that took place on the 5150 podcast. Um, I think I'm going to go with the minority. People, first of all, are saying Corey, bogus, 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 bogus. That's the prevailing narrative right now. Corey out of line. Corey did that to his homie. Man, I'm sorry. I looked at it. I can't see it. Like, I wish I could see it that way. And normally when I see a lot of people reacting the same way, I kind of think like all of y'all are supposed to think that way because y'all don't think like the minority people who are elite thinkers and elite people that do things differently. I think that for people who says Corey was wrong, these are the same people who benefit off the thinkers, the people who think outside of the margins. And so I'm one of those people that think outside the margins. But I just want to say that what do I think about the altercation? So first of all, I started with Darlene. Corey was poking at Darlene. And I think what Corey was doing was, we all do this, man. I think one of it was for content, pressure to kind of like keep the show interesting. I think the wear and tear, I think the romance is falling, like the love is gone. You know what I'm saying? At first it was like, man, this shit new, this shit popping, this shit fun. We got people liking us. Then it become monotonous and it becomes repetitive, and then it just loses its power. So he got on her, I guess, to kind of like, this is what we do, and okay, I'm gonna use this. This fact that she kind of dissed me while I was bigging up my product. I'm gonna kind of use this shit to kind of like go at her, and I think when he was going at her, we all could feel through the screen like, man, dude, you doing too much, But I think he knows something about her that he's just holding to himself, like he knows like Darlene real life, you know what I'm saying, and he like, you know what, you be acting, so you need to stop acting like you all that, because you not. That's the vibe I get from Corey, because um, he, I think, has a problem with people who don't have the courage to face the world as they are. I think he has an issue with that, and I think another thing, so he has that back and forth with Darlene. Darlene brings up Grady, said, "Why you gotta air him out?" And Corey, in his reasoning, is why not? You feel me? Like Corey feels like we can go farther, or I can go farther with y'all if y'all act like me. Act like me. Embrace your flaws. Embrace who you are. One of the things that made 5150 what it is the fact that you can bet Corey gonna talk about some shit you don't want to talk about. You could damn near guarantee that Corey is gonna have a show that is going to they're gonna talk about a topic that most people don't have the courage to talk about. Abortion, murdering the police. Sorry to say that, but revolting, voting. And he's smart enough to have people around him to give their perspective. The thing that I think he has the most problem with is that when you are around him, and he calls it perpetrating. When you around Corey Holcomb and you calling yourself, let's use Grady, an alpha male, and you talking to Corey like y'all the same, and Corey looking at you like, no, my nigga, we not the same. Like, stop saying we. Like, stop using my light to bat. Like, don't bask in my glow because you around me, nigga. You not that. And you know what? I will respect you more if you acknowledge that you not that, because even though you not me, you around me, so you have value. So you are somebody. Just don't try to be me. I really am that. I really have came from nothing. I go out here off of nothing, no skill, just will and pay the bills. That's who Corey Holcomb is. But the people around him don't want to be who they are. They want to be something that they're not. And Corey Holcomb has a problem with that. That is absolutely a flaw to him, and he absolutely is gonna call you out for that. So Darlene texts him and says, you go ahead. You did it to Grady. You wanna air my shit out. I don't know why you wanna do that. We supposed to be friends, but I don't know what you going through, homie. But you bogus. That's what Darlene said, and she said no matter what Grady said, you shouldn't have still aired him out. Um, Corey Holcomb has had things on Grady for years that he didn't speak on. And I think that one thing where Grady was capping, that's what he said at that show. That's a cap, nigga. And Corey looked at him like, man, I can't believe you niggas don't want to be who you really are. So that show, Grady said, nigga, I know the man that raised your son, nigga. I went to school with the nigga, and that was a low blow to Corey. Like, oh, okay, all right. But anyway, Zoe started to defend Grady, and I think he meant well, but Zoe like, man, we don't need this type of drama on this channel. And I learned this in psychology. You don't never want to take somebody grief from them. You don't ever want to take somebody pain from them. An example, if you had the chance to have a loving or a hateful relationship with a person that you don't like, if somebody gave you the option to get close to somebody you don't like, you don't respect, if somebody gave you the option to love that person and be close to that person, you wouldn't pick that option because that person to you doesn't have enough value. But if somebody comes to try to push you in a direction of somebody you don't like, you're going to resent the person that's pushing you to that loving relationship. That's a flaw that Zoe has. Zoe was trying to push Corey towards a relationship that Corey didn't want instead of acknowledging Corey that he didn't fuck with Grady. Zoe was trying to bring them together, and that's why most relationships fail. When people hate each other, it's a reason why they hate each other. And when you try to force relationships together, you're going to have an issue. So Zoe ended up getting his head bit off because he was trying to make a relationship that Corey had deemed was I'm sorry, I hit the table. But he was trying to put together a relationship that Corey had deemed wasn't worth didn't have the value. You know? So Zoe ended up getting his head bit off. So because Zoe, and we can all learn from that. Don't try to fix something that is broken. Like Corey said, he would pick a side. Normally what you supposed to do when your mans come and say, man, you know what, I'm through fucking with dude. What you supposed to do is acknowledge that motherfucker frustration and acknowledge that they anger. Don't try to tell them not to feel that way. They gonna hate you. So Corey then turned his attention to Zoe. All right, motherfucker. Okay, you wanna play the middle? Okay, and then he get to bite Zoe head off. And I think he bit Zoe head off because Zoe had the courage to tell Corey, man, you a hypocrite, dog. You know what I'm saying? That Corey couldn't wait for you to say that because now you open the gate up for me to tell you how I really feel. And from watching the show, I understand how Corey feels about Zoe. Now let me say this. Zoe Williams is very intelligent. I have been a fan, an avid listener of Zoe Williams until late. Like I've been turned off by Zoe because I'm watching Zoe be around Corey Holcomb, but not really learn that game. I don't understand why Zoe Williams doesn't have his own studio, shit like that. I can't see after so many years of being around Corey, you haven't you still like doing shows in other people's studios and making yourself look like you something. Like I don't get that part. Like me and my homie had a conversation about why the fuck Zoe ain't doing his show in Corey's studio. Wouldn't that make sense? Like wouldn't you you know what I'm saying? Like all these years, like you should have been like, you know what, man, Corey, let me put my shit with yours, and you know what I'm saying? We can split this shit down the middle, and I can do my show and your shit instead of paying whoever, Dash and all these motherfuckers, because your platform big as a motherfucker. When Corey Holcomb goes on Zoe's platform get bigger. When he goes off of Zoe's platform, it shrink. Corey Holcomb platform, whether Zoe's on it or not, is pretty much, you know what I'm saying? It's still bigger than Zoe's without Zoe. Let me just put it that way. But Corey's sitting around Zoe, and Zoe is a gentleman. Um, and Corey has respect for him, but you lose respect because he probably seeing Zoe, you know, ain't about his bread like that, or he bought his paper, but he like, I don't know, like, you know, he's supposed to be way bigger. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if fans, if y'all see that, but I think Zoe's supposed to be way bigger than what he is, and he's not. And then Corey like, man, I guess you ain't, you know what I'm saying? You the weakest link mean, like, dog, you ain't hustling hard. You know what I'm saying? And then another thing about Zoe, man, like, Zoe is always trying to sell bullshit. Like, I went and looked up weed juice. I looked up weed juice, homie, and no knock on my man's, dog, but that shit was $10 a bottle, cuz. And you selling that shit to black people. Then, one thing I am thankful for Zoe is that he introduced me to Tone Talks and Yvette Cardinale. And they, man, like it or not, they up next. You feel me? Like, once mainstream get them, it's no turning back. You know what I'm saying? Because they are on it. They talking about black economics, black politics, and they make the most sense as to why we are in the condition we in. So Zoe, I appreciate you for that. But for the most part, Zoe, you done brought us people like Umar, Tariq Nasheed, Young Pharaoh. Young Pharaoh, I don't know too much about him, but this nigga was just caping for Trump, man. I don't know if he was caping for Trump. I don't know what he was on. I'm not telling you he not an intelligent man, but you know, like Corey said, this nigga was on Reza. He even turned on you, Zoe. Young Pharaoh turned on you in one of them videos. But, you know, Corey has been around you for years. And this is another thing that people that's upset at Corey didn't realize. Zoe admitted out his mouth, nigga, you don't know 1/3 or 1% of who I am. You know, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? I don't know 1/3% of who you are, and I've been around you for 10 years. You understand? Like, how does that make? That does not make sense. So, you know, with that being said, man, you know, I think Corey Holcomb is mad at people for being around him and not being who they are. This platform could have been maximized if Zoe would have told the audience, you know, the real reason why he don't take his hat off. Take your hat off, homie. Like, let's see what's under there, cuz. Let's see what you going through, homie. Like, and another thing, too, is that Zoe, that's not even his real name. Zoe is not even Zoe Williams' real name. His name is Renard or something, or some shit like that. Ray, I don't know, Ronald or some shit, you know. But he goes around saying his name is Zoe. I guess it looks better for his image or something like that. But Corey, he can only handle so much of this Hollywood shit, man. And like he says, it's only a matter of time before you gotta get the fuck away from him because he's going to say something. Okay? And that's what most people like. They tripping on Corey about, man. But Corey gonna say something. And salute to you, Corey Holcomb. Man, you are a real nigga's a hero, nigga, because you a nigga who out here getting something out of nothing. And everybody, you know, like, and you do try to help motherfuckers out, cuz. Motherfuckers can't say you ain't solid. Corey, you know, if it's true that you paid the legal fees for that case, you $100 for that, dog. That's $20,000. This niggas you can't even get $100 out of, cuz. And everybody want to drag you for airing this nigga out. I know why you aired him out, because I know it's niggas around me like that. You know, I hate to say it, but that's the truth. It's niggas that don't be on shit. So with that being said, you know, that's my take on it, man. Corey Holcomb was right. Zoe wasn't necessarily wrong, but Zoe, you've been around so much opportunity, cuz, for you not to be able to come up or have some money. Like Darlene talk about her restaurant, so that's probably why Corey be like, I can't say nothing about her. She done got with her homie, invested in a restaurant. That shit hidden. She trying, you know, she come through, you know, mail all the orders, do shit with the website, clean up the thing. She 100. You know what I'm saying? She a good down bad. You know, she helped the show out, and I appreciate it for it. But Zoe, what you doing? Like, you know, if Corey fell off, that's what make a nigga that up there feel bad. Like, nigga, if I fell off with the way you living, what's gonna happen to me? If I fell off, we all gonna fall off. That's why you a liability. Like, I help you. You don't help me if I lose you, I lose nothing. If you lost me, you lost a nigga with the capabilities of handling a motherfucking lawsuit. It ain't every day you can have a nigga like that around you, but that nigga also wants something in return. It's not fair that you just come around and you get to fight niggas and duck the responsibility. That's not 100, homie. I don't care how you shake it. And I hope that you appreciate Corey for airing your ass out, because that's what real niggas do, homie. And a lot of niggas can't handle that because they bitch made and they emotional and they just can't vibe with it. So, I think a real nigga would have shook Corey's hand after the show and say, you know what, dog, I'm going to do better, dog. You 100, my nigga. But you know what? I'm going to fall back off for you till I get my shit together, because I don't want to pull you down. It is some shit going on I'm struggling with, and I need to get that shit together. But other than that, that's my take on it, man. It's much love to Corey, Zoe, Darlene. I love y'all, man. Y'all really get niggas through hard times, man. I would hate to see the show break up, but I think, shit, you know what? Y'all done gave us enough content. It might be time to shake loose. Get the fuck out of there and do something else. Corey, y'all might look good on some motherfucking interviews, touring and, you feel me? Y'all, it might be time for y'all to go out and fuck with the fans, like go on a tour. Y'all that big. Y'all motherfuckers 85 South this shit. That'll be my suggestion, but other than that, man, I'm just a nigga from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I live in Sheboygan, and it's much love to both of y'all, all y'all, and I'm out. Peace.